All right, folks, the moment that you've all been waiting for, the XRP lawsuit grand finale. It's September 23rd, 2024. We're going to talk current events, cryptocurrency, and what is around the corner for XRP and Ripple. It's not just this lawsuit coming to a conclusion, barring any sort of appeal, of course, but the appeal window is set to close. Stablecoin's about to get launched. We also have an ETF possibility along with tokenization announcements that I think are going to come from Ripple Swell, which is coming up here in just a couple weeks. So without further ado, I want to get right on into the markets, folks. Let's take a look here at Bitcoin. Back down to 63,300 after last night, while we were recording the live show last night. If you missed that, that should be on my YouTube channel posted for you guys. You can run that one back. We went all the way up to 64,750. Now, I said we need to break 65,000 to break the trend. We wicked pretty close, but didn't quite break through. We're back down at 63,300 right now. We were at 589 last night for XRP, and that's about where we're sitting right now, 585. Okay, we move on over here to the stock market. What was interesting, the markets have closed for the day. The Dow Jones did go set a new all-time high today. So despite the war and everything that's going on, I'm going to show you the current events here next. Despite that, the NASDAQ 100 was basically stayed level here today, but the S&P 500 nearly broke up into a new all-time high. And then we did see the Dow Jones set a new all-time high. Now, speaking of new all-time highs, of course, gold did go set another one here. 2,653 is where it closed. Gold showing so much strength, sending a signal. And today we saw what that signal was. The continuation of the World War III events, unfortunately. Hezbollah launches fifth wave of rockets. Iron Dome springs into action. This is in northern Israel, under fire with red alerts in Nazareth, Carmel, and Ramat David Air Base. Israel's Iron Dome is intercepting rockets, protecting communities as Hezbollah's latest barrage intensifies the conflict. Residents brace for more attacks in the ongoing escalation. This is coming out of the Middle East right now. Israel striking back, over 1,100 Hezbollah targets in Lebanon. Over 1,400 munitions at Hezbollah sites targeting buildings, rockets, missiles, and drones. And so we got a tit for tat here today. First, it was Lebanon. Now we see Lebanon coming back under fire here. And I guess it was really Hezbollah, right? And so Israel launching attacks back at Hezbollah in Lebanon today. We're going to continue to watch it. At the same time, the U.S. is deploying troops to the Middle East, urging Americans to leave Lebanon. The Pentagon announced additional troop deployments to the Middle East amid escalating violence between Israel and Hezbollah. The U.S. Embassy has urged Americans to leave Lebanon immediately, warning of increasing risks as Israel intensifies airstrikes. Now, today we also see that Zelensky is in Pennsylvania doing another roadshow here in the United States of America. And I think it was reported this weekend that Biden has another $300 billion for him. Or maybe it's just $300 million. I forget that. We've lost track. I guess we've only done a little over $100 billion so far. Just over $100 billion. No big deal. But I think that Biden has another $300 million for him, as it was announced this weekend. But Zelensky's there in Pennsylvania today, signing his autograph on missiles to be used in the Ukraine-Russia war. And he makes the comments today that Trump doesn't know how to end the war, and Vance is too radical, the Telegraph reports. Now, I don't think that he's openly said that he's endorsing Kamala. Maybe Zelensky will come out and give his support. We are tracking current endorsements for Kamala, including Goldman Sachs, the IRS, and a couple other interesting folks like Dick Cheney. So maybe Zelensky wants to join that party. We'll continue to update on that. In last night's episode, too, by the way, I did talk about how the Kamala, it wasn't a campaign policy, but she came out in a speech and she said that she does want to support and encourage AI and digital asset investment. So we finally get a little bit of positive crypto policy talk, rhetoric. We'll see if it leads to anything. And I jokingly said that I guess we're all going to be voting for Kamala now in this upcoming election. Now, we'll continue to follow up on that one. But you guys let me know what you think about this current event situation. We got World War III escalation taking place. Zelensky here to get more money for Ukraine, Russia. And at the same time, we're watching the United States. We're just up against a problem of a fiscal deficit that continues to expand on top of the $35 trillion of debt and over $100 trillion of unfunded liabilities. And we got everybody knocking at our door, right? We got a wide open border. We got a war in the Middle East that we need to fund. We got a war in Ukraine that we need to fund. We need to do $50,000 tax credit for startup companies in America, right? Kamala's opportunity economy is what she calls it. So $50,000 for startups. Everybody, I hope you guys are getting your business plan ready to go for your startup so you can get that $50,000 tax credit. And of course, I'm sure the money will only go towards legitimate businesses, right? Just like all those PPP loans that they sent out. Right. So if you want a handout, get in line because you got Zelensky in front of you. You got Israel in front of you. You got a few other interested parties in front of you as well. And so if you're an American just trying to make it, step up, get in line, and wait your place. Now, when it comes to cryptocurrency legislation, we are hoping to see some progress. Tomorrow, we are going to watch as we get the testimony coming in from the SEC commissioners. Ron Hammond with the scoop here. And that's going to be followed up with Wednesday. We see SEC Chair Gensler will be going in front of the Senate Banking Committee. So tomorrow, SEC Chair and other SEC commissioners will testify tomorrow at the Financial Committee and Wednesday at the Senate Banking. Usually this is a quieter hearing, but not this year. And Ron goes on to talk about how this year what we see is that even Democrats, now normally in an election year when the chair and other commissioners do come in front of Congress, the party that's in control of the White House basically tosses softballs at the SEC chair, while the opposing side, which in this case would be the Republicans, would try to tear into the SEC and Chair Gensler. What's different this time that Ron Hammond's pointing out is that you actually have a bunch of Democrats who are now siding with Republicans in going after Gary Gensler, and this is becoming a bipartisan issue, wanting to pass cryptocurrency legislation and also the criticism of the SEC and how they've handled their cases. Now, huge shout out to Eleanor Terra from Fox Business. She did just update us with the scoop. She did an interview with Mark Ueda, who is one of two Republican commissioners at the SEC, very vocal and critical of the SEC, Chair Gensler, and some of the decisions that they've made. But we'll see if anything does come out of these testimony over the next 2 days. I'm really looking forward to reporting on this. Another point that I wanted to add, too, is that today the SEC did achieve a victory in the Consensus lawsuit, where Consensus went to sue the SEC. That was in Texas, I believe. The judge has actually dismissed that case. I forget the reasoning exactly, but basically saying that Consensus didn't have a strong enough case. And so the case has been completely dismissed, marking another victory, in this case, for the SEC. More on that later. Now, I want to get into the big announcements. I titled last night's episode, live show, the XRP final timeline. I'm calling this episode the grand finale. We're right there, right? This is it. Now, we have an appeal window for the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit that expires in less than 2 weeks now. We're right at about 2 weeks. October 6th, 7th is the final days that the SEC has, or even if Ripple wants to appeal, they have to get it done by then. Now, if that doesn't happen, this case is over. The next thing that we're watching for is the stablecoin. Remember, just a few weeks ago now, Brad Garlinghouse said it's going to be weeks, not months, before Ripple launches their stablecoin. So I'm expecting Ripple to launch their stablecoin between now and Ripple's Swell Conference, which is October 14th and 15th. We're not done. The other thing that I think is coming, and this is the start of it right here, is the ETF. Now, I don't know if we'll see an ETF announcement at Ripple Swell Conference, but it is possible. Now, Grayscale is going to be at Ripple Swell Conference, and they tweeted this out today, which I wanted to show you guys this because this article from CoinDesk is actually from September 12th, but this is Grayscale bringing it back up, trying to get that attention, right? Bringing up the XRP Trust, but I want you guys to see what they say right here. We believe Grayscale's XRP Trust gives investors exposure to a protocol with an important real-world use case. Wow. Now, we've been led to believe that everybody on Wall Street, all the banks, all the institutions, all the hedge funds, they only want Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and they want nothing to do with XRP. Meanwhile, Grayscale's head of product and research, Ray Scale, says that the XRP Trust that they're providing is going to give exposure to a protocol with an important real-world use case. So maybe us in the XRP community aren't so crazy after all. Now, we're not done speculating. We are going to continue to speculate. And part of my speculation is that we have a series of events here that line up over the next few weeks that we know are coming, right? Which is the lawsuit conclusion, which is the stablecoin going live, RLUSD, which is the potential for an ETF to get announced. And then the other one that I'm going to be looking for at the Ripple Swell conference is they have a couple sessions on tokenization. They're bringing in the Archax CEO along with a few others from Northern Trust, some other big institutions and banks that are going to be at Ripple Swell conference. And so the other big announcement that I'm waiting for is going to be partnerships with other companies like Archax that are going to be surrounded about tokenization. Now, remember, CEO Graham Rodford of Archax is the one that said that we're going to see 30 to 50 trillion of assets tokenized on the XRP ledger. So don't come at us for being the crazy XRP hypers. Let's talk to this guy. And in fact, he's going to be speaking on Ripple on stage at Ripple Swell Conference. Looking forward to that session. So once again, the big events that are coming up and, my speculation on, a couple other announcements is going to be the lawsuit conclusion. That's going to be October 6th, 7th. We will have an answer. Following up, we got the stablecoin RLUSD going live. The next one is going to be a potential ETF announcement and the tokenization announcements at Ripple Swell Conference. I think it's going to be a massive few weeks here for Ripple and XRP. And it appears that there's some movements happening as well, which I don't know if this means anything, but we do have 200 million XRP transferred from Ripple to an unknown wallet. Now, we also watched Chris Larson had some XRP moving around recently, and some more was moving around today as well. So we got whales moving around XRP, including Ripple, including Chris. We've seen some other big transactions, big random wallets, just sending, 17 million XRP, 20 million XRP, which relatively speaking, daily volume, it's nothing, right? It's not that big. Ripple moving 200 million, that's pretty considerable. But it's just something that we're watching, knowing that we got some big events and dates around the corner for XRP. And this is that, kind of the grand finale moment, right, for the SEC Ripple lawsuit. This is the XRP lawsuit grand finale. Give me your predictions in the comments down below. Let me know, do you think that we're going to get an appeal? Do you think that we're going to get this stablecoin going live? Do you think that we're going to get an ETF or a big tokenization partnership announcement at Ripple Swell? Let me know what you guys think, and hope you got your popcorn ready to go, along with a bag of XRP if you want to come along for the ride too. Not going to give you financial advice, but you know how I'm positioned. I appreciate all of you guys for stopping by. If you love our content, make sure you smack that thumbs up for me on the way out. Make sure you guys have subscribed and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our updates. And everything can be found at zachrector.com. And I also have some quick links in the description down below for you. Take care and God bless. I am your host, Zach Rector. I really appreciate all of the love and support. If you want to support the channel, just remember that you can start by smashing that thumbs up for me, sharing this content far and wide, and everything else is at my website.